over and over and over and over again, making mistakes, learning from those mistakes, adapting, getting better, getting stronger, putting systems in place. All right, guys, I wanted to show you something pretty cool. I'm working on a new build. This is an enclosed trailer build. I'm about at the 75, maybe 70, 75% done. I've been working on it for 2 days. And check out that cool little stand there for my hose reels. Of course, I got a stack kit right there. That's where the hoses are going to go. And then right there, that's going to be for soft washing. Right here is where we're going to put an AR-45. The proportioner is actually going to go on the wall right there. But yeah, it's looking pretty cool. Of course, here on the left, we have all of our plumbing. Of course, this is the gas. The 8-gallon-a-minute machine is going to go right there. But that is not what this video is about, unfortunately. That was just a little teaser for you guys. But don't worry, I am doing an enclosed trailer build for you. I'm going to teach you all the little details. I got that coming up in July. I already told my team, my administrative team, that I'm going to be out of town for 10 days, first 10 days in July. But in actuality, I am going to be doing this enclosed trailer build. Not this one that you see here, because this one's got to go in the field within the next 2 days. So I did not have time to record anything that I'm doing here. But in July, that first week, guys, I'm going to do a complete build. It's going to be very in-depth. Like we're going to show you all of the plumbing, the different tanks, how to hook up your system, the electrical part, all of the plumbing to your soft washing, all of that good stuff. But anyway, what today's video is about is I wanted to talk about this because, you know, if you're thinking about starting a pressure washing business, or really, you know what, this advice is for any kind of business. You know, one of the things that people go through when they're thinking about starting a business is that, you know, they're afraid of like all of the things that could happen. And I'm here to tell you guys that, you know, this is something normal that everybody, including myself, we all went through, we all go through on a daily basis. You know, running your own business is something where, man, there's a lot of things in it that are unknown, right? You know, when you have a job, right, guys, when you're just, you know, you have a place where you have to check in every day and you have bosses and all that. The thing is, there's comfort in that because you know that every Friday or every other Friday, you're getting a certain amount in your bank account. And some people, you know, they do better with that than running their own business. Some people. And the thing about running your own business is that, you know, there's a lot of unknowns when it comes to that stuff, right? Because you got to go create your own reality, create your own money. And what I wanted to say about it is this, you know, I don't think you should let fear dominate your decision-making process, because guess what, guys? Like, becoming an entrepreneur has been the best decision I ever made in my life. It came with a lot of hard knocks. I made a lot of mistakes. I've been very transparent, very open about how, you know, my journey was all about, you know, like stepping on rakes. Like, wow, man, what's that cartoon character? Sideshow Bob from the... Oh my God, I want to say The Simpsons. Yeah, Sideshow Bob, how he's always stepping on rakes. That was me, guys, when I first started my business. That's how, truthfully, every entrepreneur learns. Because the process of becoming successful is nothing but a continuous a situation where you're constantly over and over and over and over again making mistakes, learning from those mistakes, adapting, getting better, getting stronger, putting systems in place. Like, I'll give you guys a great example. When I first started my business, this happened like within the first 2 years. I had a situation where I was spraying solution at a person's house to clean their house, and I completely nuked their car. Now, at the time, man, I ended up spending thousands of dollars to fix that. That was a huge negative for me at that time. But, you know, from that, I learned. I learned to put a system in place so that wouldn't happen. And then creating that for my business made me think about what other systems I needed to put into place so other things of that nature wouldn't happen. So you see, that one negative situation led to a lot of learning opportunities in my business, because from there, I took my business from being a reactive business to a proactive business where, I wasn't constantly reacting to negative situations. I was proactively avoiding those situations. But anyway, I say all that to say this. You got to go through those lumps, guys. You got to go through those punches. You got to fall down a bunch for you to learn from your mistakes and grow. Being successful at anything is difficult. It doesn't matter if you want to open up a lawn care business, a roofing business, if you want to be a lawyer, if you want to be a dog groomer, whatever type of industry or career you want to get into, you're going to go through this process where it's a constant learning process. And so my thing is, I don't want you guys to be dominated by fear, because fear is part of the process. Falling down is part of the process of becoming successful. That's how we all become successful, right? And making a lot of money and being successful, all it is just acquiring different skill sets. And how do you acquire those skill sets? You acquire them by learning and growing, developing, and adapting to those changes. Like I talk about this all the time. One of the main skill sets that's going to help you become successful is sales, right? And how do you learn how to be a good salesperson? Yeah, you could read 250 books. You could watch 1,000 hours of video on YouTube. But really the best way is just to simply get out there, learn from your mistakes, take a bunch of no's. You have to learn on your own that, you should never try to change a no into a yes, because sales is all about just going through a bunch of no's as fast as you can so you can find your yes. And you learn all of these things by making mistakes. And that's just one skill set, but there's dozens and dozens of skill sets that you need to learn along the way in order to be successful. So don't be afraid. Just get out there, start learning from your mistakes, jump right into the deep end, guys, because you just never know where that's going to take you. When I first started my business, I just never imagined it would grow to what it is today and how big it is. And really, I look back on my journey, I'm able to, have the success that I have today and make what I make because of the fact that I've made so many mistakes along the way and learned from those mistakes. Like something that I say to you guys here on the channel all the time is, the more you know, the more you'll grow. And it's very true. It's not just my catchphrase or my motto. It's very true, because that's how I have grown in this journey. The more I learned, the more money I made, the more mistakes I made, I also made more money, right? Because the more mistakes you make, the more you grow, because you learn from those mistakes. So don't be afraid to make mistakes, because mistakes, the falling down, that's an integral part of the journey of becoming successful. Always remember that. And I really appreciate you guys coming to the channel today and watching this pressure washing advice video. Guys, highly recommend you stay tuned to the channel, because we got great content coming out all the time, right around the corner for you guys. But yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. Bubbles out.